12 is brought to you by Kenneth Nugent. From the station that's on your side, News 12, first at 5, continues.
A man turns himself in to police hoping to clear his name. Instead, he spends more than a month in jail.
This was the hardest 6 weeks. I've never been in no stripes.
Now, he's finally back home with his son.
But first, an ongoing issue reaching a critical point. Governor Brian Kemp declared a state of emergency, and it starts tomorrow over supply chain issues.
He says the Peach State supply chain is still experiencing severe disruptions, and Kennedy Harris joins us live at the pilot station on Riverwatch Parkway.
Kennedy, you tell us truck drivers are one of the groups most impacted by this executive order.
Yeah, Meredith, I've talked to several truck drivers out here today, and they all say the last few months has impacted them one way or another. On top of the high gas prices, now supply and demand issues are making it even more of a challenge. Governor Kemp's executive order, which takes place tomorrow, is a direct response to the severe disruptions in supply chain issues. Under that order, he'll suspend the rule that limits the hours commercial drivers can work, but it also prohibits companies from forcing sick or tired drivers to work. It requires they take 10 consecutive hours off for rest. Trucks that need to carry more than normal weight can get a permit pass to do so. Then there's gas. One driver out here told me to fill up the tank before it rose, it cost about $500. Now it costs him $1,000. Another one told me his company actually cut his hours to lower gas costs. They say the recent trends have sparked some potential changes in the industry.
You know, they got the LNG gas, the nitrogen gas, and electric trucks. That's what they're talking about doing now. That's the new movement. You know, they're trying to get away from diesel.
And naturally, supply and demand challenges impact where you get your food. I'll have an update tonight at 6 o'clock on how local grocers are dealing with the issues.
It's how products make it to our homes. Kennedy, thanks for that important live update there. Let's head outside now for a
The email on your screen.
Arterio Crumbly, now a free man, out of jail after being wrongfully accused of shooting a Clayton County police officer. Police said Clayton officer Ryan Ritchie was shot in the waist during a response to an armed robbery back on the 2nd of March. They say another victim was shot in the hand.
The incident sparked an hours-long manhunt for the suspect, who police identified at the time as Crumbly. The 25-year-old later turned himself in, hoping to clear his name.
He did not expect to spend more than a month behind bars. Hope Ford caught up with Crumbly about his time in jail.
Home for the first time in 6 weeks.
This was the hardest 6 weeks. I've never been in no stripes.
Arterio Crumbly, wrongly identified, arrested, and charged for robbing and shooting a man and a Clayton County police officer.
I thought it was a joke and people just playing. Then my neighbor called me like, they kicking in your door, they think it's you, but I'm telling them like, no, that ain't little bro.
He had an alibi.
I had all type of proof. I had pictures with my son sitting right here. We was eating ice cream. Like, I had the neighbors say it wasn't me. The man at the stove, I heard he got on the news and said, hey, Crumbly is not the one y'all supposed to have.
But it took 2 weeks before police could ping his cell phone to his house, 10 miles away from the crime.
I haven't left here. I didn't leave here. I was here with him.
It took another 4 weeks for police to tell media 17-year-old Charles Jacoby Santana Payne was the actual suspect.
My girl just showed me the picture of him. I'm like, yeah, I know him from the neighborhood, but how y'all getting me mixed up with him?
He says he feels disrespected.
Officers in Henry County telling me, like, you a cop shooter, you on violation. Like, we don't care. Like, I'm knocking on the door. It took me 2 weeks to see medical.
But now he's back with his family.
He been up on me all day. Daddy, 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 daddy. Like, he ain't left my side.
And after telling his side, he wants something more from Clayton County Police.
I want an apology, and I'm going to sue them.
Well, they are now looking for 17-year-old Charles Jacoby Santana Payne.
Also, moving ahead now, in the news, if you've been procrastinating the deadline for your taxes, it's coming up sooner than later. The deadline for filing taxes just days away. Got to have it done by Monday, the 18th. The IRS says pay special attention to reporting COVID stimulus payments and advanced child tax credits. Even if you don't have the money to pay the tax bill now, you do want to file on time to avoid the penalties, and you can always request an extension. Parents, don't forget, Georgia milestone testing starts Monday, and that's for grades 3rd through 8th in Georgia. The testing their English, their math skills through the years, then science for 5th and 8th graders, and social studies for just the 8th grade. During the pandemic, they were canceled, and last year they did not count against any student's grade.
Well, we did see beautiful weather today, but tracking some rain chances into our Easter weekend. We'll time them out for you coming up after the break.
And it's starting to feel a lot like Easter, and that means bunnies. They're making a return locally. That's coming up ahead on News 12 first at 5.
Easter is almost here, and wouldn't quite be complete without a visit with the Easter Bunny. Check out the scene at the Community Graphics over in North Augusta today. Real bunnies out there. You can go and get a picture with one.
I love that they do this. How cute are they? They're out there until 6 o'clock tonight, but don't worry if you miss it. Tomorrow from 9 to 3, you can have your own memory made with a bunny. They just ask that you bring your own camera. A wide range of emotions from those kids today.
Yeah, a lot of the kids really are interested in the bunny and they get excited. There was a few kids that got really upset when they had to leave. There have been some that were kind of scared at first, and then once they were around them, they got used to them.
I remember I did this with my own daughter, and admittedly, I think I enjoyed it just as much as she did.
That's really sweet, and a lot of kids end up saying, "Can we keep it? Can we take it home?
Yes.
Make a great pet."
I know. I kind of want a bunny.
It's a cute little rabbit, and
so cute.
luckily the weather was perfect for that today. Unfortunately for tomorrow, most of next week.
Riley, thanks so much. The warmer spring temperatures mean you might get a chance to see all kinds of wildlife, and that includes this season black bears. We know it in this area. Bears leave hibernation, they start looking for food, and they might just get too close to people. But there are some things you can do to be on the safe side. First of all, you don't want to feed them or approach them. You want to secure food, your garbage, your recycling. These bears are going after a bird feeder, so it might be a good idea to bring that feeder in during the season. By the way, this is all on bearwise.org. Don't leave pet food outside. Clean and store your grills, and keep your neighbors updated on any bear activity. We'll let you know if any are spotted and we see any local pictures of a bear.
Hopefully not, though. We hope that they stay far away. You probably have an old phone lying around the house gathering dust, right? You might think it's worthless. Well, coming up, a few ideas to give new life to old devices.
On furniture.
By now, you probably have at least one old smartphone or tablet lying around there gathering dust in the house. And even if they do still work, you won't get much if you try to sell them.
But before you toss them aside or send them off to be recycled, Jamie Tucker shows us they can be put to good use in your home.
Not long ago, you spent a lot of money on a smartphone like these, and now they're just sitting around gathering dust, can't do anything with them. Yes, you can, and they can actually save you money. Digital picture frames are pricey, but an old iPad you're not using is even better. Open the Photos app and create a new shared album. We'll call it Frame. Add all the photos you want to be displayed into that shared album, and then tap on the name of that album, and then tap on the 3 dots in the top right corner to select Slideshow. Make sure to turn on Repeat, and you've got a digital frame you didn't know you had. Plus, other people can add photos to that shared album from their phone. Old smartphones make fine TV remotes. If you've got a Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, install that app on the old phone. The apps are more functional and easier to use than the remote that came with the box. Keep the old phone connected to a charger. You'll never lose the original remote in the couch cushions again. Old iPads also make good e-readers by installing the Kindle app. It's even better than a Kindle, really, if you're reading something with color photos like a magazine. And smartphones make great security cameras. The apps ManyThing and Alfred turn old iPhones and Android devices into cameras that will send you a notification and pictures if it's triggered by motion. Make sure the phone is connected to a charger, prop it up toward a door or a window, and boom, a security camera you didn't know you had. The only caveat is some of these apps won't work on really old phones like the iPhone 4 because the operating system can't be updated. But if you have a game downloaded on that old phone, you still should be able to play it provided you can remember your password. You have changed your password since then, right? That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Always good advice. In fact, there's a recent survey that found the average American has about $200 worth of old devices they're not using. That number seems low if you think about all your old devices.
Yeah, and then multiply it by how many people in your house have old devices. Depending on the age of the phone, carriers might offer you $25 in trade-in value, but older phones have no value and will need to be recycled or used as an e-reader, a picture frame,
And a
or
security camera.
yeah,
Who knew?
I didn't.
Jamie knew.
Yep. Heads up, parents, if you're heading to the Easter egg scramble tomorrow in Columbia County, the time has changed. Organizers say they want to push the event back until 2 o'clock because of the weather. The event now runs through 5 o'clock at Patriots Park. On your screen now is the changed hunt times for each age group. The event is free. For a full list of all the Easter events happening in the area this weekend, go to wrdw.com.
Have you heard? It's a big night tonight at the NBA. We're going to find out who's going to secure the final 2 spots in the playoffs, which start tomorrow.
Sports director Nick Proto live in the studio previewing the Hawks game against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
The Hawks are looking to be the Cinderella team in the NBA playoffs for the 2nd year in a row, but in order to do that, they've got to get past a tough Cavaliers team on the road tonight. Atlanta got to this game by beating Charlotte at home on Wednesday. Trae Young has continued to elevate his play this season. He became just the 2nd player ever to lead the league in total points and total assists, joining Tiny Archibald, who did it back in 1973. The Hawks have dealt with some injuries this year and traded Cam Reddish to the Knicks, but they look as dangerous as ever to make some noise in the playoffs should they get there. First, they've got to go through the Cavaliers, who has been a bit of a surprise this year themselves. The Cavs are also expecting their all-star big man, Jarrett Allen, to come back tonight. He's been out for more than a month with a finger injury. That'll be a tough matchup for Clint Capella, who's been playing great this season, averaging 11 points and 12 rebounds. We'll have highlights for that one coming up on News 12 at 11 o'clock. More sports coming up in the next half hour, including a different type of golf major here in Augusta. I'll see you back here then.
All right, thanks for that, Nick. We are looking at some headlines.
We have shown you coyotes, we've seen the birds, and just in time for Easter, here on this Good Friday, News 12's bunnies making another appearance. Check it out. These pictures are from this morning.
Oh, a sighting this morning. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Word around the station is the rabbit's name is Chester. This is news to me.
Same.
Will Rio apparently named it, so I guess you guys have bonded. But Will says these guys live out behind the putting green, which maybe Will spends a lot of time putting. I don't know. Maybe the general manager should look into that. But he makes appearances on the weekends.
I did see him yesterday morning, early, about 8 o'clock. Yeah,
Okay.
I was worried about, speaking of the coyote, I was worried about the coyote and the bunny being together. I do not want their paths to cross.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
Hopefully it's a Bugs Bunny and Wile E. Coyote kind of environment to where where Bugs Bunny kind of gets away most of the time. But
I love it.
hey, hopping down the bunny trail right there.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Hippity hoppity.
But overall, mostly dry conditions once we get past Monday.
Riley, thanks so much. Still to come, it's been 75 years since Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers. We're going to have a local look at that and what needs to happen to make the game even more accessible. Ahead on News 12 at 6 o'clock after a short break. Stay with us.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Well, families all around the CSRA are getting ready for Easter festivities, and so are local businesses. With the pandemic winding down, the first holiday lost to COVID is now rearing back this year. But first, let's send things over to First Alert Chief Meteorologist.
That weekend outlook in just about 2 minutes.
All right, thanks, Riley. In Aiken County, brush fire near Windsor is now 100% contained, according to officials on the scene. We're told the fire spread to 200 acres before it was contained, with between 10 to 15 homes being told to evacuate. The call came in at around 2:45 this afternoon. South Carolina's Forestry Commission responded along with several other fire departments. Well, Governor Brian Kemp declared a state of emergency over Georgia's supply chain issues. In the executive order, Kemp temporarily suspended federal regulations on how many hours truck drivers can drive. News 12's Kennedy Harris is live for us now at the Pilot Travel Center just off of Riverwatch Parkway. The order also says sick or tired drivers should get at least 10 hours off as soon as they stop. But what did truckers you talked to have to say about this new approach to the supply chain issue, Kennedy?
Well, truckers that I spoke to today have told me this has impacted them in a variety of ways. Some say they've been forced to take on heavier loads to accommodate the needs. Others say their hours have been cut in order to use less gas. So this order will impact them really just depends on the company, but it could have trickle-down effects all the way to you.
It all depends on where you're going, how you're going.
Food is high, gas is high, all because it's just harder to get. Governor Kemp's executive order will cut the limit for how long commercial drivers can be on the road and require 10 consecutive hours of rest for those who are tired. It also prohibits price gouging, especially at the pump. One driver told me the cost to fill up his tank has reached $1,000, a $500 jump from average.
Well, it don't really bother me now because I'm a company driver, so I'll let them handle that. That's corporate.
Some drivers say they've already been picking up heavier loads, which is easier now under the order to meet needs, like needs in the grocery store.
It's definitely been a little bit of a challenge, and you have to get a little creative with how you're going to find things.
Good Earth says many of their smaller vendors are struggling to find supplies like jars.
We have had to make some price adjustments, but we are also striving to keep a very wide range of prices so that nobody feels the hurt too much.
Challenges from the road to the shelf, but some might be out before it's all over.
I'm about to retire.
After 30 years.
After 30 years. No.
Now, this order goes into effect tomorrow and will last 30 days. The governor hopes it will help end some of the disruptions in the supply chain problems.
All right, thanks for that update there, Kennedy, right off of Riverwatch Parkway. Thanks. Augusta's annual Easter egg drop returns for its 6th year after the pandemic forced the city to cancel the event the last couple of years. Mayor Hardy Davis and Deputy Fire Chief Shaw Williams Jr. were joined by plenty of people at the Augusta Common today. And on top of the grand egg drop, there were plenty of activities for kids to do, including an egg hunt for different age groups. Now, the egg drop is far from the only sign of Easter celebrations returning to normal. I spoke to a flower shop downtown who says they're working nonstop to keep up with all of their holiday orders.
It may seem calm inside Flowers on Broad right now, but the past 2 weeks has been the busiest they've been since the start of the pandemic.
Masters Week was a rough week for us. We ran all week for 7 days straight from 7 a.m. till 11 p.m.
I asked him exactly how it's rough when you've done more business than ever before.
That's rough for us because we had weddings on top of that.
Things will only get crazier for them after tournament week.
Calming down from that, and now we're gearing back up for the Easter weekend.
They haven't even had a chance to catch their breath.
We probably doubled what we did last year for Easter so far.
Families are getting back together after a long 2 years.
We're doing a lot of floral centerpieces for the holidays, just for the family Sunday lunch. Corsages have actually picked up a good bit for Easter. So that's a good welcome back.
It's been a nice welcome back for customers downtown too. They're just now catching their breath after COVID.
Back to normal. Back to normal.
Now families can finally exhale for the holiday weekend.
And we just thank God that we could come together without the mask and not being scared and people coming out of the holes that they went into their shells. So it's a great thing that we could come back and be normal and give love and show love to our families and friends.
In downtown Augusta, Will Rio on your side.
And there are a ton of Easter events going on all this weekend. Here are just a few happening tomorrow. There's an Easter egg scramble at Patriots Park starting at 10. An Easter egg extravaganza at the Kroc Center at 11. A kids' Easter party at the VFW in Evans at noon. And much more. We have a list of several other events happening this weekend on our website, wrdw.com. Well, today marks the last day of Black Maternal Health Week in South. April is Georgia's Safe Digging Month, and our very own Richard Rogers sat down with Olympic athlete advocate for digging safety Cliff Meadle. He reminds people to call 811 before starting a digging project so you can avoid an accident like he experienced.
Let's talk more about that near fatal construction accident. You're running a jackhammer. Talk us through that day. What do you remember?
Yeah, I mean, I remember, starting off the day working with my coworkers there, and then I was just doing, a job that I've done many times before in the past. And then, unfortunately, I remember this huge jolt going through my body, and the lights were out just like that. I couldn't tell you if I was dead or alive, and then I woke up.
And you can catch the full interview on digging safety and the things to look out for this Sunday on News 12 this morning. Well, still ahead, local schools are honoring our military families with a special meal. We'll take you to one of our elementary schools who organized a special breakfast this morning. Riley.
Well, we say dry today, but tracking rain chances into our Easter first.
Is there anything else you need? Just let us know. Lord Equipment is your trusted source for all your outdoor power equipment needs.
Not only do we offer the best sales and service in the area,
We also carry all the top brands and products from Exmark, Husqvarna, Steel, and more.
and if you're not looking to buy, we offer many choices on rental equipment too. With a reputation for quality products,
Awesome customer service, and competitive prices.
Lorwood, your #1 choice for power equipment.
All right, families stop by Communigraphics to fill up their Easter baskets and meet a few baby rabbits today. That does not look like a baby rabbit there. That's a full-grown rabbit. Kids got the chance to hold the little bunnies at a sort of Easter-themed petting zoo.
Yeah, a lot of the kids like really are interested in the bunny and they get excited. There was like a few kids that like got really upset when they had to leave.
Well, that bunny is very cute, and I also got wind that Richard Rogers threw me under the bus last half hour about the bunny that we have here at News 12 named Chester. I'm not going to stand for that. I don't spend my time on the putting green too often, Riley. I mean,
Hey, that's where I'm
I
heading
could
after
defend
this show
myself.
gets done. But that is one cute rabbit. I think it's awesome that they were able to get that done. Good to go by next Tuesday, and luckily a nice dry stretch between next Tuesday and Friday.
Thanks, Riley. Columbia County Schools served breakfast to their students with family in the military. They called it Purple Update, and it's part of the month of the military child. Our Will Volk stopped by for the special event at Riverside Elementary School.
It's an hour and a half before school starts, and dozens of kids are showing up early.
This is that one day a year where we really shine a light on those kids who deal with a lot of change, who deal with uncertainty.
It's Purple Up Day, a day to honor military kids.
Whether they've been here a year, 2 years, 3 years, they're like part of the family and they adjust so quickly.
Riverside Elementary invited military kids and their parents to the school's purple-covered cafeteria for their first ever Purple Up breakfast.
I think it's great to take a little bit of time out and spend time at their school, see a little bit of their life, and then just, like you said, celebrate them a little bit.
Jacob Penman joined his family here before heading to Fort Gordon. He appreciates the sacrifices they make. They've moved all over.
I mean, I have 3 children, and one was born in England, one was born in Kansas, another one was born in Indiana.
They're so resilient through all the changes in their lives, and their parents just set them up for success in such wonderful ways.
That's why the school is happy to do something special like this for them. In Evans, Will Volk, on your side.
And Columbia County isn't the only district taking part. Here are some photos from Glen Hills Elementary, where they wore purple this week to show their support for military kids in their classrooms. Next week, Richmond County Schools plans to hold a Purple Update district-wide on April 21st. And just a quick reminder for parents, Georgia Milestone testing starts on Monday, everyone's favorite time of the year. The tests are used as a way to figure out how well students are learning standard curriculum in English, math, science, and social studies. Well, to sports now, the first ever Champions Cup